Have you ever wondered if the food sitting in your fridge could quietly be harming your health? What if I told you that certain foods, especially fish, may look fresh, smell fine, and even taste good, but still carry hidden risks? And here's the shocking part. Seniors over 65 are the most vulnerable to these silent dangers. From everyday favorites like fish to other common fridge items, hidden threats such as nitrosamines, listeria, and aflatoxins can slowly build up, increasing your risk of serious health problems. In this video, we're exposing the 5 types of fish you should remove from your fridge immediately. And trust me, the last one will truly surprise you because it's something almost everyone overlooks. Stay with me until the end, and you'll also learn simple steps to protect yourself while still enjoying the foods you love. Before we begin, I'd be grateful if you like this video. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do and turn on the bell so you won't miss future content. If you find this helpful, drop a comment with the number 1. If not, comment 0 so I can improve these videos for you. Now, let's get started. Fish number 1, often sitting in American refrigerators, carries more risk than most people realize. For many seniors, fish isn't just food. It's comfort, tradition, and even a source of connection. Imagine the familiar aroma of grilled salmon filling your kitchen, reminding you of family dinners from years gone by. Its golden crust brings to mind a warm dinner shared with loved ones. Or maybe it's the comfort of a tuna salad sandwich, prepared with a grandmother's recipe and enjoyed on a quiet summer porch. For some, it's the tender flakes of cod baked with rosemary, lemon, and olive oil, recalling seaside vacations or family fish fries filled with laughter. These dishes are more than food. They are memories stitched into the fabric of life, the warmth of the dining table, the salty breeze of holidays, and the simple joy of home-cooked meals. For many seniors, fish represents cultural identity, a reminder of times when the kitchen was alive with stories, togetherness, and tradition. Yet, beneath this comfort lies a danger that grows more serious with age. Processed fish, such as smoked salmon, canned tuna, or pre-marinated fillets, are often treated with preservatives like nitrates to keep their color and extend shelf life. But inside the refrigerator, usually set around 35 to 40 degrees Fahrenheit, these nitrates can transform into nitrosamines, compounds strongly linked to cancers of the stomach, colon, and other digestive organs. Recent studies, including findings from the Journal of Lipid Research, also show that nitrosamines may trigger chronic inflammation, a hidden process that slowly damages tissues and organs over time. This type of inflammation is especially troubling for seniors, as it is now seen as a major factor in memory loss, cognitive decline, and conditions such as dementia. Research published in Nature Reviews Neurology highlights how the risks of improperly handled fish extend beyond physical health, threatening the mental clarity needed to enjoy family memories or maintain independence in daily life. What makes nitrosamines so dangerous is their invisibility. They have no smell, no taste, and cannot be seen. That perfect-looking slice of smoked salmon or the tuna waiting in your fridge may seem safe, yet it could already contain harmful compounds. For older adults, the danger is even greater. As we age, the immune system weakens, and the body becomes less efficient at repairing cell damage. Chemicals like nitrosamines, which a younger body might clear more quickly, can linger and accumulate, raising the risk of both physical and cognitive harm. The brain is particularly vulnerable, as inflammation can damage neural connections essential for memory, decision-making, and emotional balance. These are the very functions seniors depend on to preserve independence and quality of life. And when combined with the realities of daily living, this risk grows even more serious. Living alone or managing on a fixed income often leads to habits that seem practical, but quietly raise health risks. Many seniors buy bulk packages of smoked salmon or frozen cod from stores like Costco or Walmart to save money and cut down on grocery trips. A portion might be used for dinner, while the rest sits in the refrigerator for weeks, trusted to remain safe. Yet each time the package is opened, air and moisture slip in, creating the perfect environment for bacterial growth and the formation of nitrosamines. What feels like a sensible, budget-friendly choice can slowly undermine health, raising the risk of cancer or even dementia. Take Harold, a 72-year-old retiree from a small Midwestern town. He cherished fish, a love born from childhood trips with his father and weekly neighborhood fish fries that became family traditions. To stretch his pension, Harold often bought large packs of fish, slicing off a few pieces each week for grilled dinners or creamy tuna salads, then carefully storing the rest in his refrigerator, always set at 38 degrees Fahrenheit. During a routine checkup, he mentioned his eating habits after complaining of mild memory lapses. His doctor grew concerned, explaining how nitrosamines linked to improperly stored fish not only increase cancer risk, but also fuel chronic inflammation that may accelerate cognitive decline. Harold was shocked. He had always thought his careful habits were safe. Harold had never imagined that his frugal habits could threaten both his body and mind, especially when staying sharp for weekly chess games with his grandson meant so much. Shaken but determined, he decided to change. He began buying smaller portions, just enough for a few meals, from local markets where he could ask about sourcing and preservatives. When buying in bulk, he divided the fish into single servings, wrapped them tightly, and froze them right away, thawing only what he needed overnight in the fridge. Harold also became more mindful of labels, choosing brands with little or no added nitrates, and explored fresh options like wild-caught salmon, which carries fewer preservatives. He even invested in a kitchen scale for precise portions and a thermometer to ensure safe cooking at 145 degrees. Today, he still enjoys his favorite recipes, grilled with dill, baked with lemon and garlic, or folded into a creamy salad, but now with confidence, knowing he's protecting both his health and his clarity of mind. And here's the good news. You don't need to give up fish to stay safe. It remains one of the most nutritious foods, rich in omega-3 fatty acids, protein, vitamin D, and selenium, all vital for heart and brain health as we age. The key is handling it wisely so you enjoy the benefits without inviting hidden risks. So let's look at some practical steps designed to help seniors keep fish both safe and delicious while protecting overall well-being. The first step: buy smaller portions. Only what you'll use within 3 to 5 days, to avoid the dangers of long storage. If smaller packs aren't available, divide larger portions into single servings as soon as you get home. Use airtight containers or vacuum-sealed bags to keep them fresh and freeze immediately. Lean fish like cod can last up to 6 months, while fattier fish, such as salmon, keep best for about 3 months without losing safety or quality. Always label your packages with the date so you can track storage time. When thawing, do it in the refrigerator overnight, never on the counter, to prevent bacterial growth and chemical changes. Keep thawing fish in a sealed container to avoid cross-contamination. And while cooking fish to 145 degrees Fahrenheit kills most bacteria, remember, it cannot remove nitrosamines or other toxins formed during storage. That's why safe handling before cooking is just as critical. Use a food thermometer for accuracy and bring out flavor with fresh herbs like parsley or basil instead of processed seasonings. For processed fish like smoked salmon or canned tuna, read labels carefully and choose brands with little or no added nitrates. When possible, go for fresh or frozen varieties and ask your retailer about sourcing. And moderation matters. Enjoy fish 2 to 3 times a week rather than daily, pairing it with anti-inflammatory foods such as leafy greens, berries, or whole grains. This way, meals become both nourishing and protective for body and mind. Food is never just fuel. It carries memories, tradition, and joy. Holiday feasts, quiet dinners, and favorite recipes that tie us to family and heritage. But preserving these cherished moments requires care. With a few simple precautions, you can enjoy the comfort of fish while protecting your health, independence, and the sharpness that lets you live life fully on your own terms. Whether it's playing chess with a grandchild, tending a garden, or simply savoring the stories tied to food, these everyday joys are worth protecting. Now, let's move to the second hidden danger lurking in what seems like a simple dish. Picture a festive holiday table, where a wooden board is carefully arranged with bright slices of orange and lemon, a sprinkle of roasted almonds and walnuts, and thin, glistening layers of smoked salmon, whitefish, or mackerel. The velvety texture of the fish, paired with a crisp glass of Sauvignon Blanc, or spread across a whole grain cracker, feels indulgent and refined. For many Americans, especially those with coastal roots or European traditions, these fish platters are more than food. They're symbols of family, celebration, and cultural identity. The smoky richness of salmon or the melt-in-your-mouth tenderness of sashimi often connects generations, carrying memories of holidays and gatherings that span decades. Yet beneath this pleasure lies a serious concern, particularly for older adults. Soft fish varieties such as smoked salmon, trout, and mackerel retain high moisture, creating the perfect breeding ground for harmful bacteria. One of the most dangerous is Listeria monocytogenes, a pathogen that thrives even in the cold, damp environment of a refrigerator. Unlike most bacteria, it can multiply at temperatures as low as 32 to 40 degrees, the very range we rely on to keep our food safe. For younger, healthier individuals, Listeria may cause only mild symptoms, but for seniors with weaker immune systems, the risks are far greater. For younger adults, Listeria may only cause mild stomach upset or flu-like symptoms, perhaps a low-grade fever or fatigue. But for those over 65, where the immune system is no longer as strong, the infection can quickly escalate. It may lead to high fever, muscle aches, confusion, meningitis, or even sepsis. According to the CDC, the mortality rate in vulnerable groups can reach 20 to 30%, making it a very real danger. Another hidden threat comes from mold. Because fish is porous and full of moisture, mold can easily penetrate beyond the surface. Unlike hard cheeses, where trimming mold away may be safe, with fish, contamination often runs much deeper than the eye can see. Some molds produce aflatoxins, powerful toxins linked to liver damage, and a higher risk of liver cancer, as shown in studies published in the Journal of Lipid Research. The danger lies in their invisibility. Aflatoxins have no taste, no smell, and leave no obvious trace. By the time fish begins to smell off, change color, or feel slimy, the damage is already done. Prolonged exposure to these toxins has also been tied to chronic inflammation, which silently erodes health. And as research in Nature Reviews Neurology has shown, chronic inflammation can accelerate memory loss, cognitive decline, and even dementia. For older adults, already more vulnerable to inflammation, this risk is especially troubling. A vivid example is Harold, a 74-year-old retired school teacher from coastal Maine. For him, smoked salmon was more than food. It was a cherished part of his holiday traditions, shared with family around the table. Yet he never realized how hidden toxins could turn that comfort into a health hazard. Each winter, Harold would buy a large portion of smoked salmon, savoring it slowly over 2 to 3 weeks. He paired it with cream cheese, capers, and dill on rye crackers, trusting his refrigerator to keep it safe. But he didn't realize the danger of storing fish for so long. One December, after eating a portion that had been sitting for 3 weeks, Harold was struck with severe abdominal cramps, a lingering fever, and overwhelming fatigue. At the hospital, tests confirmed Listeria infection traced back to the fish, leaving him with a long recovery that shook his independence. The ordeal opened his eyes. Harold realized he had underestimated the risks of his favorite delicacy. From then on, he changed his habits, buying smaller portions, finishing them within a week, and sometimes choosing canned fish, which is far less prone to bacterial growth because of its processing. There are safer ways to enjoy fish without giving it up. Purchase only what you'll eat within 7 to 10 days. and wrap it in wax or parchment paper to reduce moisture that encourages bacteria and mold. Always place it in a sealed, airtight container in the coldest part of your fridge, ideally below 38 degrees. And remember, never try to salvage moldy fish by trimming it. The contamination often runs deeper than the eye can see. For seniors, firmer products like canned tuna or sardines are safer options since they contain less moisture and are processed to resist bacterial and mold growth. Regularly checking refrigerator temperatures adds another layer of protection, ensuring food safety and peace of mind. Proper cleaning and careful handling can go a long way in reducing risks. Fish platters, with their elegance and tradition, have long symbolized joy and togetherness at special occasions. Yet for older adults, the delight of eating fish must be balanced with vigilance. Like a treasured friendship, fish is best enjoyed fresh, cared for properly, and let go when its time has passed. With mindful choices in buying, storing, and consuming, seniors can continue to enjoy the cultural richness of fish while protecting their health from hidden dangers. Now, picture a holiday table where a wooden board is laid out with bright slices of orange and lemon, roasted almonds and walnuts, and delicate slivers of smoked salmon, whitefish, or mackerel glistening under the light. The soft, velvety texture of the fish paired with a crisp glass of Sauvignon Blanc or spread on a whole grain cracker evokes indulgence and sophistication. For many Americans, especially those with coastal roots or European culinary traditions, these platters are more than food. They are cultural touchstones. They appear at family gatherings, intimate dinners, and quiet moments of personal indulgence. The smoky richness of cured fish or the melt-in-your-mouth tenderness of fresh sashimi carries a legacy of connection, binding generations through recipes and memories that stretch across decades. Yet beneath this inviting flavor lies a serious health risk, especially for older adults whose immune systems weaken with age. Soft fish like smoked salmon, trout, or mackerel contain high moisture, creating the perfect environment for microbial growth. One of the most concerning pathogens is Listeria monocytogenes. Unlike most bacteria that slow down in the cold, this one thrives in the damp environment of a refrigerator, multiplying even at standard household temperatures of 32 to 40 degrees. That means fish stored properly can still become contaminated. For younger people, Listeria may cause only mild stomach upset or flu-like symptoms, such as fatigue or a low fever. But for adults over 65, the stakes are much higher. Infections can progress into dangerous conditions: high fever, muscle aches, confusion, meningitis, or even septicemia. According to the CDC, mortality rates in vulnerable populations can reach as high as 20 to 30%. Another hidden danger is mold. Fish, with its porous, moisture-rich texture, allows mold to spread deep inside, far beyond what the eye can see. Unlike a hard cheese, where trimming away the surface may help, moldy fish often carries contamination throughout. Some molds produce aflatoxins, powerful toxins linked to liver damage, and a higher risk of liver cancer, as shown in studies from the Journal of Lipid Research. Because these toxins are odorless, tasteless, and invisible, by the time fish smells bad, changes color, or feels different to the touch, the damage may already be extensive. Aflatoxin exposure has also been tied to chronic inflammation, a condition that silently fuels many health risks. Over time, this type of inflammation contributes to memory loss, cognitive decline, and even neurodegenerative conditions like dementia, as highlighted in reviews from Nature Reviews Neurology. For older adults, whose bodies are less efficient at fighting inflammation, the danger is compounded. Prolonged exposure to these hidden toxins can accelerate both physical and cognitive decline. Take the story of Harold, a 74-year-old retired school teacher from coastal Maine. Smoked salmon was a beloved part of his holiday traditions, enjoyed with cream cheese, capers, and dill on rye crackers. Living alone, he trusted his refrigerator to keep the fish safe, savoring it over 2 or 3 weeks. One December, After eating a portion that had been stored for 3 weeks, Harold developed severe abdominal cramps, a persistent fever, and overwhelming fatigue. At the hospital, doctors confirmed a listeria infection traced back to his smoked salmon. Recovery was long and difficult, shaking the independence he valued so much. That experience changed Harold's habits. He began buying smaller portions, finishing them within a week, and sometimes choosing canned fish, which carries less risk because of its processing. Experts suggest practical strategies like these. Purchase only what you'll use in 7 to 10 days, and wrap fish in parchment or wax paper before refrigerating to reduce moisture buildup, which fuels bacteria and mold. Place the wrapped fish in a sealed airtight container and store it in the coldest part of the refrigerator, ideally below 38 degrees, to slow bacterial growth. Never try to save moldy fish by trimming away the spots, as contamination often spreads invisibly through the tissue. Safer options for seniors include firmer fish products like canned tuna or sardines. Their lower moisture content and processing make them more resistant to bacteria and mold, offering a practical alternative. Regularly checking refrigerator temperatures and keeping it clean also reduces the risk of cross-contamination. Fish platters will always symbolize elegance, tradition, and togetherness, turning meals into special occasions. But for older adults, enjoying these dishes must come with vigilance. Like a trusted friendship, fish is best appreciated when fresh, handled carefully, and released when its time has passed. With mindful shopping, storage, and consumption, seniors can continue to enjoy the cultural richness and comfort of fish while protecting their health. Imagine now a quiet afternoon at home, where a simple yet satisfying lunch comes together. A slice of hearty rye bread, lightly toasted, spread with tangy Dijon mustard, topped with crisp romaine lettuce, a juicy tomato, and a generous layer of smoked salmon or flaked tuna. The savory richness of the fish, paired with the crunch of fresh vegetables, creates a meal that is both nourishing and effortless, fitting perfectly into a senior's daily routine. At festive gatherings, it's often the fish platter that steals the show. Delicate rolls of smoked salmon, creamy white fish spreads, or tuna canapes topped with capers and fresh dill, arranged beside bright pickles and olives. For many seniors, these dishes are more than food. They represent tradition, convenience, and cherished family moments. Rooted in coastal American traditions or European heritage, such meals carry nostalgia, blending practicality with elegance. Yet beneath this sense of comfort lies a web of hidden health risks, especially concerning for older adults whose resilience naturally declines with age. Most commercially processed fish, whether smoked salmon slices or pre-packaged tuna, are treated with preservatives like sodium nitrate or sodium nitrite. These additives keep the color appealing, extend shelf life, and enhance flavor. But once stored or digested, they can transform into nitrosamines, dangerous compounds linked by the World Health Organization's International Agency for Research on Cancer to higher risks of gastric and colorectal cancers. The danger is subtle. Nitrosamines cannot be seen, smelled, or tasted, and their formation accelerates the longer fish is stored, particularly in the acidic environment of the stomach. For seniors, whose detoxification systems are less efficient, even low-level chronic exposure may quietly cause cumulative cellular damage over time. Another pressing concern with processed fish is its high sodium content, often ranging from 600 to 200 milligrams per ounce in smoked varieties like salmon or mackerel. For perspective, that's a large share of the American Heart Association's daily sodium recommendation of 1,500 to 2,300 milligrams for adults over 50. Excess sodium is a well-known trigger for hypertension, cardiovascular strain, and kidney dysfunction, conditions seniors are already more vulnerable to because of natural age-related changes in the kidneys and blood vessels. Research in the Journal of Lipid Research shows that high sodium not only affects the heart and kidneys, but also fuels chronic inflammation by promoting oxidative stress and damaging the lining of blood vessels. And what does chronic inflammation lead to? It is strongly tied to memory decline, cognitive impairment, and neurodegenerative diseases like dementia, as highlighted in Nature Review's Neurology. For older adults, whose bodies are less able to resolve inflammation, the sodium from processed fish can act like fuel on a fire, worsening both cognitive and cardiovascular decline over time. The risks don't end there. The moist, nutrient-rich texture of smoked or cured fish creates a perfect breeding ground for bacteria, particularly Listeria monocytogenes. Unlike many bacteria that struggle in cold temperatures, Listeria thrives even at 32 to 40 degrees, the range of most household refrigerators. The CDC identifies older adults as a high-risk group for listeriosis, with mortality rates as high as 20 to 30% among those with weaker immune systems. Unfortunately, common storage habits often make the problem worse. Many seniors, trying to save money or reduce trips to the store, purchase large packs of fish and keep them open in the fridge for weeks. This prolonged storage not only increases the chance of nitrosamine buildup, but also gives Listeria time to multiply, with studies showing it can double in just 24 to 48 hours at typical refrigerator temperatures. Cross-contamination from improper handling or poorly cleaned refrigerator surfaces can further raise the risks. Marjorie, a 78-year-old widow from Seattle, learned this the hard way. For years, she relied on smoked salmon sandwiches as her quick, flavorful go-to meal, buying bulk packages to save money and trimming off dry edges after weeks in the fridge. She had no idea how dangerous this was. Keeping open packs for nearly 4 weeks, she assumed refrigeration kept everything safe. But soon she developed persistent fatigue, nausea, and low-grade fever. Her doctor diagnosed a Listeria infection, most likely tied to the prolonged storage of her fish. He explained that processed fish should be consumed within 3 to 5 days of opening to avoid both bacterial and chemical hazards. Shaken but determined, Marjorie changed her habits. She began buying smaller portions, eating them promptly, and choosing low-sodium, nitrate-free options. Today, she still enjoys her sandwiches, but with a balance of tradition and health-conscious care. To reduce risks, seniors can adopt a few simple, evidence-based practices without giving up the pleasure of fish. Choose fresh cuts from the deli counter where turnover is high and storage times are shorter, instead of pre-packaged products that may sit on shelves for weeks. Consume opened fish within 3 to 5 days, and always store it in airtight containers in the coldest part of the refrigerator, ideally below 38 degrees, to slow bacterial growth and chemical breakdown. For those worried about preservatives, look for nitrate-free or low-sodium fish products, though even these should be eaten in moderation. A safer option is preparing fresh fish at home, grilled, poached, or baked with simple touches like lemon zest, garlic, or fresh herbs, giving you full control over sodium and eliminating preservatives altogether. Take, for instance, a 4-ounce portion of baked salmon drizzled with olive oil and sprinkled with rosemary. It delivers rich flavor with minimal health risks. Keeping your refrigerator at the right temperature and cleaning storage surfaces regularly adds another layer of protection against contamination. Processed fish may remain convenient and culturally meaningful, offering quick protein and flavor. Yet its risks, chemical, microbial, and inflammatory, require vigilance, especially for older adults. Like a well-balanced meal, health is about mindful choices. By favoring fresh, minimally processed fish, sticking to safe storage timelines, and moderating consumption, seniors can continue to enjoy this cherished food while safeguarding both health and independence. Now, picture a warm summer evening where the smoky aroma of grilled fish fills the air at a backyard barbecue, blending with lively conversations and clinking glasses of iced tea or rosé. Or imagine a festive holiday table where a glistening platter of smoked salmon, white fish, or mackerel takes center stage among family favorites. Its rich, savory flavors often stir memories of childhood feasts and cherished family recipes. For many seniors, a pack of processed fish in the refrigerator feels like a reliable staple, ready to turn a plain sandwich into something satisfying or to elevate a simple snack with its bold, umami-rich taste. These dishes, deeply tied to American traditions, especially in coastal communities and families with European roots, carry both nostalgia and convenience. The vibrant hues of smoked salmon or the tender flakes of tuna bring comfort to daily meals and holiday tables alike. Yet beneath this appeal lie real health concerns, particularly for older adults whose ability to detoxify harmful substances naturally declines with age. Many processed fish products, including smoked salmon and pre-packaged mackerel, contain artificial additives such as synthetic dyes like Red 40 or annatto, along with preservatives like sodium benzoate to preserve their color and extend shelf life in the cool, moist environment of a refrigerator. Over time, however, these additives can degrade into toxic byproducts. For example, sodium benzoate stored in acidic conditions can react with small amounts of vitamin C and other compounds to form benzene, a known Group 1 carcinogen. The International Agency for Research on Cancer has linked benzene exposure to cellular damage and a higher risk of leukemia and other cancers. These chemical changes happen silently, with no warning signs. A piece of fish may look and taste perfectly fresh while harboring dangerous compounds. Research in the Journal of Lipid Research shows that these byproducts trigger oxidative stress and lipid damage, fueling chronic inflammation. And what does chronic inflammation lead to? It's strongly linked to memory loss, cognitive decline, and neurodegenerative diseases like dementia. As highlighted in Nature Review's Neurology, seniors are especially vulnerable because their bodies are less efficient at resolving inflammation. This makes the risks from these compounds even more serious, potentially accelerating both cognitive and physical decline. The concerns don't stop at chemicals. Extended storage of processed fish raises the danger of microbial contamination. With 60 to 70% water content, smoked or cured fish provides the perfect breeding ground for harmful bacteria, such as Listeria monocytogenes. Unlike many bacteria, Listeria thrives even at refrigerator temperatures between 32 and 40 degrees F, doubling every 1 to 2 days. Food safety research and the CDC warn that adults over 65 face the highest risks from listeriosis, which can lead to high fever, confusion, meningitis, and in severe cases, a fatality rate of 20 to 30% among those with weakened immune systems. Unfortunately, common storage habits make these risks even greater. Many seniors try to save money by buying large packs of fish and leaving them open in the refrigerator for months, assuming the cold will keep them safe. But over time, chemical breakdown and bacterial growth speed up, especially in poorly sealed containers or fridges with fluctuating temperatures. Walter, an 81-year-old retired mechanic from Boston, learned this lesson the hard way. In his family, smoked fish had always been a Sunday brunch tradition. Even in retirement, he carried it on, buying bulk packs of smoked salmon and stretching them over 6 months. Stored in the original packaging, he never realized that long storage was quietly raising both chemical and bacterial risks. Eventually, Walter began experiencing constant fatigue, nausea, and a troubling mental fog. His doctor linked these symptoms to chronic inflammation and a possible low-grade Listeria infection tied to his fish consumption. The physician warned that additives and prolonged storage could fuel systemic inflammation, speeding cognitive decline, while Listeria carried immediate dangers. Shaken but determined, Walter changed his habits. He started buying smaller, fresher portions, finishing them within 2 weeks, and experimenting with simple homemade recipes using natural seasonings. Now, he enjoys fish with confidence, aware of the risks, but empowered by safer choices. To reduce these risks while still enjoying fish, seniors can rely on a few proven practices. Always choose products labeled free of synthetic additives, such as artificial colorants or sodium benzoate, and focus on minimally processed options. Open packs should be consumed within 2 to 4 weeks, stored in airtight containers in the coldest part of the refrigerator, ideally below 38 degrees F, to slow chemical changes and bacterial growth. Check regularly for any changes in smell, texture, or color, and discard fish showing even subtle signs of spoilage, since contamination often runs deeper than what's visible. A safer path is preparing fresh fish at home, grilled with olive oil and thyme, baked with lemon and rosemary, or poached with garlic and parsley. Homemade cooking gives you full control over ingredients, avoiding preservatives and lowering sodium. For instance, a 4-ounce portion of grilled mackerel seasoned with natural herbs offers rich flavor with far less risk. Keeping your refrigerator clean and its temperature steady between 35 and 38 degrees F further reduces contamination. Fish has always held a special place in American kitchens, blending taste, tradition, and nourishment. But hidden dangers, chemical byproducts, bacterial growth, and inflammation-related risks make caution essential, especially for older adults. Like a treasured heirloom, fish is best enjoyed fresh, handled with care, and never left past its prime. By choosing natural, minimally processed varieties, respecting storage timelines, and preparing meals with mindfulness, seniors can continue savoring fish while protecting both health and independence. And there you have it. The surprising truth about 5 everyday foods that may be hiding risks in your fridge, from fish belly to creamy cheeses and beyond. I hope this video has helped you see how small adjustments in shopping, storing, and enjoying these foods can make a powerful difference in protecting your health, especially for seniors over 65. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What is one key lesson you've taken away today? And how will you apply it in your daily life? Perhaps it's checking expiration dates more carefully, buying smaller portions, or choosing natural alternatives. Whatever your answer, share it in the comments below. Your experience might inspire someone else in our community. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel for more practical tips to keep your kitchen safe and your health a top priority. Wishing you good health, happiness, and peace always. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel, Healthy Aging Blueprint.